What? What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Obviously, there's always been some kind of law or regulation when it comes to tobacco, smoking, all that kind of stuff. There's the basic ones we know, the ones that are supposed to, make sure that only adults get to enjoy tobacco. And obviously we're focusing on cigars, but this video is going to be focusing on smoking in general. Now, if you live in a state like mine, California, obviously they're trying really hard. The push has been going on for a long time, the idea of having a tobacco-free California, which I honestly only think should apply to cigarettes, but I digress. It's a lot easier for kids to get their hands on cigarettes and vapes than it is for cigars, and let's face it, kids don't have the patience or attention span to actually smoke a cigar for the most part. No kids that I know of anyway. At worst, the laws regarding smoking can be annoying. I mean, you can't smoke in bars anymore. There used to be smoking in non-smoking sections in restaurants. Yada, yada, yada. The laws have changed. Things have been amended. It is what it is. There are actually some weird and very whacked out laws regarding smoking, not just here in the United States, but all across the world. It varies from state to state and country to country, but there are some interesting, bizarre laws regarding smoking that I've never heard of until I decided to look it up out of curiosity. And let me tell you, just considering the precedent that put some of these laws into effect, I wish I had been there. So we're going to get into some we're going to get into some weird legal territory today, and yeah, I really hope it makes you laugh your ass off, because yeah, it pretty much did for me. So let's cue that music and let's get weird. What's up, everybody? You are watching Dad Smoking Cigars, sponsored by StokeyLives.com, Cigar Social Media, and Casa Cuevas Cigars. From our Casa to yours, thank you so much for joining me for another Friday video. And as I said just moments ago, we're going to be stepping into some weird legal territory. No, I'm not going to get into any lengthy talk or discussion about, certain laws, how they came to be, how they benefit or don't benefit us as cigar smokers. No, I'm going to be getting into the weird ass laws that were developed or brought to be, amended, created, etc. in certain parts of the United States and even in other parts of the world in regards to smoking. Now, when we think smoking, obviously we think about cigars, but this kind of covers smoking in a broad sense, even though it touches on cigar and pipe smoking as well as cigarette smoking. The basic thing is that it's just these weird laws that I wish I was there to see what set this in motion, these laws in motion, because some of them are weird. All of them are weird. I mean, the video is called Weird Smoking Laws, so they're all pretty weird in their own right. But you're going to get some major WTF vibes, I think, when you hear some of these. Maybe you've heard them before, maybe you haven't. You're going to hear them now, and they never fail to just make me scratch my head or just cringe a little bit. Ready or not, here we go. In New Orleans, Louisiana, apparently it's against the law for anyone participating in the carnival or carnivals or parades to smoke. Like, you think about Mardi Gras and other type of parade processions and things like that they have in New Orleans. It's it's a pretty lively city, and there's a lot of those that happen at any given point during the year, but especially during Mardi Gras. Kind of our version of Carnival, except it's just absolutely bat crap insane, at least from what I've heard. However, you cannot smoke. You can't smoke at all. During one of the most debaucherous celebrations, let's just focus on Mardi Gras for a minute, okay? During one of the most debaucherous celebrations of the whole year throughout the United States, you can't smoke. Cigarettes, cigars, pipes. Probably can't even smoke a joint, even though I'm pretty sure people just completely ignore that. But you can't smoke. And not only that, but they are legally required to have no smoking signs on the parade floats. Does anyone really think that people are going to be paying attention to that? I'm pretty sure their attention is going to be elsewhere all over the place, especially if you've been drinking. The crazy thing is pretty much almost anything else is legal. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's like a bunch of things you could do that are far worse than smoking a cigarette or a cigar. But apparently that's just a no-no. You just don't smoke. We don't want to smoke during the debauchery and the, the general immorality that's going on around us. Apparently in Zion, Illinois, it is illegal. It's illegal to give a lighted cigar, lit cigar. It says lighted in the thing, and I don't think that's a word. At least not in this context. Can't give a lit cigar to any dog, cat, or any other domesticated animal that's in your care. So, yeah, cigars don't go to the dogs, and I don't know who thought it would be a good idea to try that, but thanks, man. Now the dogs, cats, and other animals can't have cigars, so screw you, buddy. No, that right there is a perfect segue into this next law, where apparently it's in New Jersey, and of course it either had to happen in New Jersey or Florida, and this one happens to happen in New Jersey. And again, I wish I had been there the day that something happened to set this kind of precedent, where a law was drafted to say, no, you cannot do this. I wish I could have been there, because it must have been one hell of an entertaining day. So anyway, in New Jersey zoos, it is against the law to give cigars, cigarettes, or whiskey to any of the animals. Oh, and it's also illegal to force a monkey to smoke a cigarette in South Bend, Indiana, but I don't really know how that has much to do with this here. Who gives a monkey a cigarette? Who forces a monkey to smoke a cigarette? Monkey doesn't know what to do with that. But the whole you can't give a cigar, cigarette, or whiskey to any of the animals in a zoo. I'm having a mental image come to mind of, Coco the gorilla, who is near the bars of their cage, and somebody decides to pass a little flask of whiskey. It's like, here, Coco, have a drink. And then a cigar. It's like, hey, look, do what I'm doing. Have a cigar. And then Coco proceeds to get drunk on whiskey and smoke cigars, and is playing a nice game of keep away with the flask or bottle or whatever and the cigars, and while the zoo staff is chasing after her, and she accidentally drops a cigar and starts a fire, and clearly I've thought this out a little bit too much. But can you imagine that? Like, it's just animals around the zoo getting drunk and smoking cigars. The ones that have, obviously, opposable thumbs, who can hold that kind of stuff, and they are smoking and drinking. And that had to have been one hell of a day at the zoo. And I wish I could have been there. Or maybe not. Might have been a little scary, but it would have been really interesting to watch. In Marceline, Missouri, apparently minors are able to purchase tobacco products, but they can't buy lighters. I mean, imagine buying a gun but no ammunition. It's just going to sit there. Newport, Rhode Island, you can enjoy a pipe all day long. But when the sun goes down, it's illegal to smoke your pipe. Sorry. And then there's this one where minors are not allowed to smoke cigars in Australia unless a grown-up buys them. I don't know if that's a law that's still in effect, but yeah, kiddos, if you got cool parents or a cool older sibling who's of legal age, or some guy you paid on the streets, it's okay. And you can smoke them in front of cops, you can smoke them in front of teachers, you can smoke them from anyone, as long as a grown-up bought them for you. You're golden. So good on ya. I mean, I know there's weird laws all over the world, but yeah, those are definitely a breed all their own. I thought I'd share some of those things that I found while looking up weird smoking laws, and yeah, I wasn't necessarily expecting what I saw, but it was a fascinating read nonetheless. I'm going to leave some links in the description below for you to look those up. If there's any kind of weird smoking laws, like maybe in the state you live in, the country you live in, about where you can smoke, if you can smoke, and what places and things like that you're actually allowed to smoke or not allowed to smoke, please share them in the comments below. But anyways, guys, that's it for this week, and I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and like this video. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.